we've got a best teams and equipment for the new legend rarity Super Saiyan God Shallet. Every time a new unit drops, someone begs me for one of these, and I know I do the videos in a very high quality way, so I was like, I guess because it's the anniversary, I'll drop and help you guys since you guys need the help. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Do me a favor and drop a like. You'll get everything here and you'll see that in the video. So let's get into this. Right, so the process for when I show you guys teams and things like that, I would show you guys a team and show you other units you can use. I'll show the bench later with leader slot options later, but the first team that we've got here is God Key. Now these three, in my opinion, are the best 3 units that you can use to form a God Key team. So we got Ultra Gold G to Blue at the top. In this case, we're talking about Shallet, so he's going to be on the team, that goes without saying. And then we've got the yellow Goku Black Rose, the transforming one. Make sure you have his platinum equipment, otherwise he's very, very useless. I'm not going to lie to you. Cool. These are the 3 that I think work best, and then you'd obviously Zenkai buff them or have a HP buff at least accordingly. But if we go into other options, if you don't have these 3, so what we're going to do is go to character list. We're going to change the filter as well. So in this case, you want to change it, then find where God Key is, and then we'll turn on Legend, Ultra, and Legends Limited, because those are like the main ones, and then we'll go to sparking later. So looking here in terms of the blue units, you can use the blue Rose, Xenoverse 2 Rose. He's actually pretty good. He's going to be especially good countering Ultra Gold G to Blue and the Gohan and Trunks, the Trunks side, because the Trunks side is red. Going into the greens, let me just make sure I have everybody unselected as well, because it shows me the not acquired as well. I wanted to show both, just in case I'm missing anybody. In terms of the green, nobody there is really worth your time, I'm not going to lie. The purples, I wouldn't recommend anybody there either. In terms of the yellows, maybe Ultra UI, but even then, no, it's stretching it. And then the reds, we've got Goku and Hits. If you have them higher than maybe 7 or 9 stars, potentially, Ultra Gold G to Blue goes without saying. And Fusion Zamasu is on the boost right now, so he can do you good if you have him with his platinum equipment. Make sure you get the platinum equipment. God Key doesn't have a lot of options, but the 3 main options that I'm showing you right now, so Ultra Gold G to Blue, of course, Shallet, and then Goku Black Rose, they will help you big time. They're very, very good. All of these units, these 3 units, they can take you far. Obviously other options can help you here and there, and then consider leader slots, which I'll show you later in the video. Next up, we've got Fusion Warrior, and it has a very similar setup to God Key. So the only thing I've swapped out is the Goku Black, and I'm using Legend Super Vegito. Unfortunately, there's not many other options if you don't have these 3. Ultra Gold G to Blue is non-negotiable. This video's for Shallet, so you're going to need him. And Legend Super Vegito is still good. I advise at least 2 copies though to make the most use of him, because he's not the best defensively. But let's go into other character options. So I'm going to go back into the filter, and I'm going to switch it out now to Fusion Warrior. And we're going to set Ultra Legends Limited, because sparkings are not good, I'm not going to lie. So we've got here blues, nobody, greens, Shallet. Transforming VB and Fusion Super Gogeta, contrary to what you might think, they are not good choices. The purple is Legend Super Vegito, of course. The yellow, you can use Ultra Super Vegito. You can use Ultra Super Vegito. He can help you out. Right now, he's on a higher tier boost, so if you have the platinum equipment and have him at least 3 copies, so I think that's 10 stars, you can get places. And then in the reds, Ultra Gold G to Blue, obviously, and Fusion Zamasu can help you out. I'd recommend putting him on the leader slot, because he's not traditionally a Fusion Warrior. If you go to his Z ability, it's not going to have anything to do with Fusion Warrior, so you want him on the leader slot so that everybody on your Fusion Warrior team can get the support, in case you're not running a full God Key Fusion Warrior setup as well. It just so happens that these 3, if you put Fusion Zamasu instead of Legend Super Vegito, are also God Key units, so yeah. Fusion Warriors doesn't have many options, unfortunately, so I'm not going to speak on it for long, but this is what you've got to deal with. So we've got Fusion Warrior as the second team. Now the third team we've got is actually Saiyans, and you're probably wondering, why is Game Originals not here? It's because that team sucks. There's only 2 good units on it, Gohan and Trunks and Shallet. So that means you need to pull the new two new units, and then you're also going to need Goku and Bardock, who aren't actually good, which is unfortunate. But we got Saiyans here. We obviously got Shallet on the leader slot. Him being green protects the reds from blues, which is very nice. And we've got 2 immaculate reds who are also just movies. So it's technically actually sagas from the movies and then just merged into Saiyans. So, but the bench will probably be movies mostly, because you want to be Zenkai buffing Ultra Gogeta Blue and Broly accordingly. So yeah, we're going red, red, green in this case, but I'll show you some other Saiyans. But just note, Shallet his Z ability has nothing to do with Saiyans. So if you take him off the leader slot, you have to consider the other tags, which are mainly going to be God Key and Fusion Warrior, if those characters on the side are. And if we look at Broly, he's not a God Key or Fusion Warrior. So in this case, if I wanted to use Broly, it wouldn't work with Shallet unless I keep him on the leader slot. So if we go to character list, I'm actually going to change the filter again, go to Saiyans, and let's go to Legend and Ultra. So if we look at the blues, I'm not going to lie, Goku and Bardock, they're not great, I'm not gonna lie, but if you wanted to run them, you could potentially get places, but you're gonna have to skill diff your enemy. I guess the Indestructible could keep you alive a bit longer, but it's not the best, I'll tell you that. The rest of the blues are not great. Looking at the greens, they're just not good overall. Looking at the purples, they're just not good overall. Looking at the yellows, they're just not good overall, man. Maybe Legend Bardock at the best, but like, it's just a stinker. It's just a stinker. It's not great. And then going into the reds, Goku and Hit, as I spoke about earlier, and then Ultra Gogeta Blue, which goes out saying, and I've already showed you Broly. It's not looking great for Saiyans, but obviously if I change it to sagas from the movies, right, as I told you, a lot of the bench will be, you can think about some options here. For example, outside of the main lots I've showed you, there might be a Zenkai. There's a Zenkai getting announced in the near future. I think it's next week. When that Zenkai releases, that's going to be very useful. Also, Broly, of course, that goes without saying, he would be a bench option, but you'd be running double green. So just consider that as well. And I think the only other option I will mention, I haven't gone for any Sparkings because the Sparkings are just not great generally in this day and age. Yellow Pan, where is she? If I go to my not acquired, here we go. Pan is actually useful. You could use her. She has good disrupt. Just make sure to star her up as much as you can, considering she's a Sparking. But yeah, that's everything. So now we're getting into some leader slot options. In a lot of cases, running at least one of these guys on the leader slot with whatever team you want to use can be better than running the whole core team. For example, Game Originals, you're running Gohan and Trunks and Shallet. Cool. But then the third Goku and Bardock isn't that great. You run a leader slot option, you're good to go. Depending on the Z abilities, you need to use your brain a bit to make sure that everybody's getting the most buffs available. So first we got Goku Black Rose, the Xenoverse 2 Rose, he's blue. Next, we've got Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Now, this guy being on a higher boost does allow him to perform, but just consider because he's a hybrid Saiyan, he's not going to have the best equipments to pair with units that are available in the meta. So you have to really think about how you're going to use them and who you're going to use them with. You'll probably work best if there's any Gokus you want to use, which there really isn't. So yeah, just bear that in mind. We've got Broly, of course, he's very powerful right now. Defensively, the transformation to break combos, it's super nice to use. We've got Legend Super Vegito, Fusion Warrior. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage against greens, which there is a couple right now. We've got Goku Black Rose, the yellow one. His platinum equipment just took him to the moon. Should go without saying that he's very good with his buff cancels and defensive capabilities as well. Gohan and Trunks, that goes without saying. Shallet, that goes without saying. These guys are good. We've got Broly here. His anti-cover change thing when he drags you back in is very useful. Just consider that he's red. He's very powerful overall though and can do lots of damage and long combos. And that's it for all the leader slot options. These leader slot options can take you very far if you don't have a full team of anything, and in a lot of cases, like I mentioned earlier, they can be a good substitute so that you can actually build a stronger team versus just keeping it core. Now we've got the bench options for Shallet. There's quite a few, but obviously you should have at least one or two. You don't need to run 2 Zenkai buffers, you can run just 1, but if you want to, 2 would obviously be good too, just depending on how your team is built. So here we've got Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the Legends Limited. He has a green Saiyan Zenkai buffer. Zenkai buffs are always green and then a tag, or an element then a tag. So in this case, it would be green because Shallet is green, and then one of the tags he has. So Shallet's a Saiyan, so Saiyan works. Here we've got God of Destruction Beerus. He's doing green and God Key, that fits. Here we've got Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. He's doing green and God Key, that fits. We've got Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, green and God Key, Fusion Warrior, sorry. We've got Shallet here. He's here for a HP buff on his Z ability. We've also got Super Vegito here. Now this is depending on if you're running a purple Fusion Warrior, which would be Legend Super Vegito, right? You can give him a good Zenkai buffer and then also HP buff Shallet at the Z ability, but note it's only when this Super Vegito gets to 14 stars. It can be helpful if you have this Super Vegito 14 stars, but if you don't, he's just a Zenkai buffer for Legend Super Vegito, but we're not here to talk about him. And then we've got Super Saiyan 3 Gold Tanks. He is a Zenkai buffer for Yellow Fusion Warrior, so Ultra Super Vegito if you want to use him, but he's also a HP buffer for Fusion Warriors, as you can see there through the Z ability. And that's everything regarding the bench. These guys will get you right for Shallet and the teams that he represents accordingly. Just be wary of the Z abilities as well, but for the most part the Zenkai buffers will help Shallet and the Z abilities too. Right, so now we're getting into the equipments. The first equipment I've got here is this one here, Give Up Boo. Base critical at the first slot, then you get strike defense and offenses, pure strike, blast defenses, and pure blast. Now I need to explain what pure is, the difference between pure and base. A lot of people don't know, so I do this in every single best teams and equipments. So as you can see in slot 2, it says base strike defense, but when it talks about strike attack, the word base is suddenly missing. Now the best way I like to explain this is to explain the pure so it doesn't include the word base as a multiplier. So if it said base strike attack, you're just adding and adding and adding. That's what you get from all of your abilities, the Z abilities, Legends Limited abilities, Zenkai buffs, etc. They all just say base strike attack and you're plus 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 plus. But then if you want to make that number big that you've been accumulating through doing a lot of addition, you add the multiplier, and the multiplier is the pure stats, where you can see the 11.85 to own strike attack. So let's say if I had a bunch of Z abilities that gave me a lot of base strike attack, one pure strike attack would multiply that number I already had and basically blow up the number. So whenever you're running a team, it's good to have at least 2 equipments with a lot of base and 1 equipment with a pure stat. So in this case, we're getting the pure strike and the pure blast. So if my other 2 equipments have a lot of pure base blast and base strike, it will merge together and make a bigger number. That's how it works. So that's why you're always going to need a pure, and in this case it's for Fusion Warriors specifically. They're condition locked, so it says when 3 battle members are tag Fusion Warrior. You can get this from the dual coin exchange shop. This equipment here is very useful. Awakened Worship Me, Give Praise Unto Me. Base strike defense, base blast defense, you get blast attack, but be wary of the last slot is dependent on which you roll, so you need to keep rolling until you get the blast. I recommend the blast because Shallet is blast type, he's ranged, and he's also going to pair well with Ultra Gogeta Blue almost on every single team, so you want to build in blast base to get the most out of him. You can see there you get the pure blast as well, accordingly if he's a fusion battle member, which he is, so it's fine. So yeah, just make sure you get the blast on the last slot so you can get the pure blast and the base blast, and then you can get this from the Ultra Space Time Rush exchange shop. This equipment here, Awakened Fusion Reborn, it's similar to the last one, but it's not exactly the same. So the trade-off is you get slightly less defenses, but on the 3rd slot you get more offenses. So you get the base blast attack 15%, but then the pure blast is also conditionally different. So with the other one, as long as you had 1 Fusion Warrior, you'd be fine. But if this one, for each Fusion Warrior you come to battle with, so the max would be 3 inclusive of himself, you can get up to 15%. So you have to use this one if you're running Fusion Warriors. Otherwise, you can run the other one, depending on how you want to build things. So if you have 3 Fusion Warriors, you'll be getting 15% pure, and you also get the 15% blast attack no matter what. This is an awakened equipment, so you can get it from the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush exchange shop. Fusion Reborn Memory. I like this equipment because you get a bit of everything. Health restoration can be very valuable in the long run. So health restoration 12% on the 1st slot, base key recovery, base blast attack and base strike attack, God key range type and God key defense type. Awakened, you're pissing me off. It's an awakened, so you can only get it from the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush shop. So we've got this equipment here. It's impossible, I tell you, impossible. If you want to give him more defensive attributes, base health, health restoration 10% to both of those, base strike defense, and then you get up to 20% to blast defense pure when tag Saiyan and tag Potara is a battle member. So any Super Vegito, Ultra Super Vegito and Legend Super Vegito. You can get this from the dual coin exchange shop. If you want to up your base blast attack, this one is for you. Awaken 10 times Kamehameha. Blast attack on every single slot 15%, and you can also get base blast defense on the 2nd and 3rd slot. This is only for range type, and this is from the Legends ranking medals. It's pretty tedious, I'll say, to grind, and it's not something you can get if you're just starting today. You kind of have to like play the game and grind legend ranking, but legend ranking is just something that you get through playing the game. So the more you play the game, the higher your legend ranking will be, and you'll probably get more legend ranking medals. Doing adventures and things like that will rank that up. This one here is solid as well, gives you a bit of everything on the first slot depending on how you want to go. So go for the blast attack if you're running Shallet. Obviously this is videos for Shallet. And base health 12%. Slot 3, you can see you can go for the blast attack if this character's a range type. That's what you're going to need out of this. And it says strike attack is battle style. Character's a battle style melee type, but he's not, so you'll be getting the battle style range type one, the 15% blast attack. It's for game originals, and you can get this from the PvP exchange shop, anniversary super space time duel medal 1, which you'll be getting from playing PvP. This one here is quite beautiful because with Shallets you spam a lot of green cards, and it's for fusions. So you can see here, base strike defense 20%, special move and critical on the second slot 15% is very good, but slot 3 you can choose between, but you're gonna have to re-roll strike attack, blast attack, and blast defense, but you want the blast attack obviously. How you can get this from the Zenkai Ultra Space Time exchange shop. Do the USTR rush. This is the last one I'm going to show you, and it's the 8th anniversary Shallet equipment. You can get special move, base strike defense, and blast attack, which is pretty much everything he needs. It's very valuable. How to get, you can get it from the new event for Shallet, Chronicle of the Red Fusion Warrior. Do normal battle 4, the higher one probably give you more drops. But yeah, this equipment is solid. But yeah, man, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope this video was helpful and you were able to build a big team, a solid team that's going to take you far in PvP. Having the pieces are important and it is a bit of a grind, but hopefully this puts you on track because I tried to lay it out very clean and easy to understand with also text on the screen. So you have a complete guide. You pause the video, you look for things accordingly. But hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.